Antisocial. Some people grow up learning that the world is a game of survival, hurt or be hurt. For someone with antisocial personality disorder, that lesson becomes the rule of life. They move through the world without the same sense of guilt or empathy most people feel. To them, rules are flexible, and consequences are just obstacles to outsmart. They might lie easily, charm others, or break promises without much thought. It's not always out of cruelty. Sometimes it's because they don't feel that invisible tug of conscience that says, "Don't do that, it'll hurt someone." Their heart learned early on that feelings were dangerous or useless. Behind the mask of confidence or rebellion often lies a history of pain, neglect, violence, or betrayal that taught them trust was for fools. Their mind built armor so thick that compassion couldn't get through, even from themselves. But even in the hardest hearts, there's a small, quiet spark, the part that wonders what it would feel like to care and be cared for, without fear or control. Healing begins when someone sees that spark, not just the armor, and helps them believe that kindness doesn't always mean weakness. Paranoid. Imagine living in a world where everyone feels like a possible threat, where every whisper might be about you, and every smile might hide a secret. That's what life can feel like for someone with paranoid personality disorder. Their mind is always on guard, like a watchtower scanning for danger. They don't do this to be mean or cold. It's their way of staying safe. Somewhere along the way, they learned that trusting people can lead to pain, so they build invisible walls to keep themselves protected. When someone tries to get close, they might question motives, double-check every word, or read hidden meanings where none exist. It's not that they want to doubt everyone. Deep down, they wish they could relax, believe in others, and feel safe. But their thoughts are like little alarm bells that never stop ringing. What they need most isn't argument or proof. It's patience, gentleness, and the slow rebuilding of trust, one kind moment at a time. Schizoid. Some people feel most alive in the quiet. For someone with schizoid personality disorder, the world of people, conversations, parties, emotions can feel like too much noise. They don't hate others, they just feel more at peace in their own company. They often live inside their minds, where imagination and thought feel safer than small talk. Others might call them distant or cold, but it's not because they don't care, it's because expressing feelings doesn't come naturally. If you told them something sad, they might not cry or hug you, but that doesn't mean they don't understand. They just process emotions quietly, like still water that hides its depth. Relationships can feel confusing for them, not because they dislike people, but because they don't quite know how to fit in. Crowds tire them, attention drains them, and they feel more balanced when left to their thoughts. What they long for isn't excitement or company, it's understanding. When others let them be themselves, without forcing small talk or warmth they don't easily show, they can finally relax. In their silence, they often hold gentle wisdom, calm observers of a noisy world. Schizotypal. Some people see the world through a lens that others can't quite understand. For someone with schizotypal personality disorder, life feels like a puzzle full of hidden signs and secret meanings. They might notice patterns in clouds, numbers, or coincidences, little whispers that seem to connect everything together. They often have unusual beliefs or magical ways of thinking. Maybe they believe their thoughts can shape reality, or that certain dreams carry messages. Their clothes, words, or habits might seem odd to others, but to them, it's simply how they express their inner world. Conversations can feel tricky. They might speak in ways that sound strange or hard to follow, because their mind dances between ideas that others don't see. People may step back thinking they're weird, and that distance hurts more than they let on. Deep down, they just want to belong, to share their unique vision without being laughed at. They live between the ordinary and the mystical, where imagination and reality blur. With kindness and patience, they can learn to keep their magic while staying grounded, offering the world a rare kind of wonder that reminds us how mysterious life truly is. Borderline. Imagine feeling every emotion turned up to its loudest volume. For someone with borderline personality disorder, life is full of storms that shift without warning. Joy can turn to despair in minutes. Love can feel like both heaven and heartbreak. They crave closeness more than anything, yet fear it more than anyone. When someone they love pulls away, even a little, it can feel like the world is ending. They might reach out desperately, or push that person away first, just to avoid being left behind. Their heart is like a candle in the wind, bright, beautiful, but fragile. They don't fake emotions, they feel everything. The happiness, the pain, the emptiness, all of it floods their world at once. They may question who they are, change quickly, or struggle to hold on to a steady sense of self. To outsiders, they can seem unpredictable, but underneath is a deep sensitivity, a soul that feels life in full color when everyone else sees in gray. What they need most isn't judgment, but gentle stability. People who stay even when the waves rise high, reminding them they are still loved, still safe, still enough. Histrionic. Some hearts shine so brightly that they can't help but draw attention. For someone with histrionic personality disorder, being noticed feels like being alive, and being ignored feels like fading away. They love color, energy, and expression. Every gesture and word feels like part of a performance meant to win love, laughter, or approval. They don't do this to manipulate, they do it to connect. Deep down, they often feel unseen unless others are watching. Compliments are like sunlight. Without them, they start to wilt. They may dress boldly, speak dramatically, or tell stories with spark and flair, not out of vanity, but because attention feels like safety. Underneath the glitter, though, there's a tender core that fears rejection and loneliness. Their emotions rise and fall fast, and they may change their mood or opinion just to stay liked. What they truly long for isn't a spotlight, it's genuine affection. To be valued not just for their charm or beauty, but for the gentle, caring person beneath all the sparkle. When others look past the performance and see them, they finally learn that love doesn't have to be earned with applause. Narcissistic. Imagine building a castle so tall that no one can see how lonely it is inside. For someone with narcissistic personality disorder, that castle is their sense of self. Grand, confident, and shining on the outside, but fragile within. They crave admiration like air. Praise fills them up. Criticism feels like a dagger. They often see themselves as special or superior, and when the world agrees, everything feels right. But when it doesn't, shame creeps in. A quiet, unbearable feeling they can't show, so they double down on their armor. Pride, control, perfection. They may seem selfish or cold, but beneath that is a deep fear of not being enough. Their childhood may have taught them that love only comes when they perform, succeed, or impress, so they chase admiration, mistaking it for affection. They can struggle to notice others' needs because their own emptiness is so loud, but when they learn to let go of the mask, something softer appears, a person who simply wants to be accepted, not worshipped. Real healing begins when they realize love isn't something to earn, it's something that grows when pride steps aside. Avoidant. Imagine wanting to join a group of friends laughing together, but your feet just won't move. You want to belong, but your mind whispers, they'll judge you, they'll see you're not good enough. That's what life can feel like for someone with avoidant personality disorder. They long for connection as much as anyone, but fear rejection even more. Every social moment feels like walking a tightrope. One wrong word, one awkward pause, and they imagine everyone turning away, so they stay quiet, isolated, and safe, but also painfully lonely. It's not shyness, it's deep, aching self-doubt. They replay conversations in their head, searching for mistakes that weren't there. When others reach out, they hesitate. Not because they don't care, but because they're sure they'll disappoint. Inside, they're kind, thoughtful, and sensitive, often the sort of people who'd never judge anyone else. They just don't believe others could see them the same way. What they need most isn't convincing, it's gentle, steady acceptance. When someone proves again and again that they won't leave or mock, a tiny door opens, and through it, love finally finds its way in. Dependent. Some people move through life always needing a hand to hold. For someone with dependent personality disorder, that hand means safety. Without it, the world feels overwhelming and uncertain. They fear being alone more than anything. Decisions feel impossible without constant reassurance. Their thoughts circle a central worry, I can't do this by myself. This leads them to cling tightly to others, even in one-sided or painful relationships. This is not weakness, it's a learned survival mechanism, often from a young age. Their heart believes love requires dependence. When alone, they can feel like they're disappearing, unsure of their own identity. Yet inside is a gentle soul who loves deeply and craves harmony. They don't need to be carried, but to be patiently encouraged to walk on their own. With support, they can learn that their own strength and the support of others can coexist. Obsessive-compulsive. Some people find profound comfort in order. For someone with obsessive-compulsive personality disorder, this need becomes an anchor in an unpredictable world. They feel things must be done the right way, which often means their way. They hold themselves and others to extremely high, sometimes impossible standards. Work must be perfect, routines are essential, and mistakes feel like failures. When things go wrong, their mind won't rest until it's fixed. Beneath this rigid control is a deep care. Their order comes from a desire to protect, help, and keep chaos at bay. Yet in pursuing perfection, they can forget to breathe or rest. Flexibility feels dangerous, like a bridge that might collapse. But when they learn that life remains intact, even when a plan changes or a picture hangs crooked, peace can definitely in. They see that imperfection isn't failure, but proof of a beautiful human life.